Hello, friends, and welcome to another edition of Get Woke with Danielle Moodie. Y'all, I am coming to you fresh off of the plane from Chicago and the Democratic National Convention. Your girl is tired AF, but still just floating on cloud nine from what many are dubbing the 4-day Coachella, but for poli-sci majors. I could not agree more. Um, this experience, if you've been following along on my YouTube page and on my social media, has been restorative. Um, I have, over the last 8 to 9 years, been trapped in a vortex of absolute darkness and hopelessness. MAGA and the rise and poison of Trumpism really sucked the patriotism, the joy out of why I started to do this work in the first place. I got into politics when I was like 16 or 17 years old, a senior in high school in AP government and politics. And I got into it because I love the idea of average, regular people deciding that they wanted to dedicate their lives to public service in order to make this country as great as it can be. I am a child of immigrants. My family came to the United States in 1970 from Jamaica. And they came from this beautiful island to America to live out the American dream. And they did. They bought homes, they started businesses, they created opportunity for the next generation that we would not have had my family stayed in Jamaica. And for that, I was just filled with pride and in partly felt indebted to this country for the opportunities that it provided to my family, which is why I wanted to go into politics. Because I believe in public service. I believe in the promise of public education being the foundation for a well thought out, committed, and connected citizenry. And I've done everything over the last several years of my career, from work on Capitol Hill to work at political think tanks to work at nonprofit organizations dedicated to the environment, right? Dedicated to women's rights. And I worked on LGBTQ rights, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. My career, sadly, was never orientated around wealth. I would have gone into finance. But the last several years, that passion, that desire, that hopefulness was strangled by Donald Trump and MAGA. And so I cannot express to you the renewed sense of joy and spirit and patriotism that I've been experiencing over the last month of this seismic shift in not only in the Democrats' decision, Joe Biden's courageous decision to step aside and endorse his vice president of the United States, but this was a seismic shift in our thinking, in our imagination, in our ability once again as Americans to do the impossible. This country is not perfect, and we know that. And I actually think that this convention laid out the ways in which this country is not perfect. We heard from victims of sexual assault. We heard from victims of gun violence, right? We've heard from those that have been abused, right, by Donald Trump and MAGA. Like the exonerated five. We've heard both, right, the heartbreak and the promise that America offers when we are able to see it, when we are able to commit to the vision of possibility and do so not centered from this place of fear or rage, but do so as Harris and Walz have shown us as happy, joyful warriors. We can be both and. And I feel like this convention and their speeches and just the parade of beautiful speeches and imagery was a permission slip offered to the American people that you can let go of the toxic nature that Republicans have offered over the last 8 years. And by offered, I mean shoved down our fucking throats and told us that there was no way out. It was either going to be their way and Project 2025, or it was going to be no way. And it's as if we have been pulled out of this tunnel, this darkness, this haze, and been given permission again to wave flags, to chant USA, to recommit to this country and its being the land of possibility. Last night, I may cry because last night, watching this extraordinary, brilliant, talented Black and Indian woman accept the nomination from the Democratic Party was an outer body experience. I know many of you, and I thank you so much for your comments on these videos and for DMing me and for replying to tweets, that I know that you felt that spirit at home as well. It was a spiritual experience. And why do I say that? Because many people who do prescribe to organized religion say that this gave them music and testimonials, community, right? Joy, connectivity, the reminder that it is our responsibility to love and care for thy neighbor, respect and dignity. All of the things that organized religion says that it offers, but in many ways, oftentimes falls short. And so the last 4 days was a reminder of who we are. And I loved when Vice President Kamala Harris was offering words from her mother.
My mother had another lesson she used to teach. Never let anyone tell you who you are. You show them who you are.
And I think that we had allowed the Republicans to define us by our division, to define us through their hateful rhetoric, to make us believe that we are a hateful, spiteful, and as Michelle Obama said, small and narrow people. That's not America. We are not a perfect nation, but it is each generation's responsibility to try and perfect this nation for the next generations to come. The beautiful multiracial tapestry that was on display both on the stage and in the United Center is America. It is complicated. It is layered. But there is nothing that is out of reach and impossible when we decide to dream together. And so we have, as of the time of this recording, dear friends, 74 days. By the time you watch this, it will be 73 days until Election Day. We have so much work to do because this Republican Party is going to try and throw everything that they can, every obstacle, every lie, right? Every form of hatred, because this is, as I said back in 2016, white supremacy's last stand. I don't know how long the stand is, but people become more desperate. People become more dangerous when they become more desperate. And we know we have never seen a more desperate man than Donald Trump is at this moment. So We need to do something, as Michelle Obama said.
It's up to us to remember what Kamala's mother told her. Don't just sit around and complain. Do something.
Register people to vote. Make sure that you're registered to vote. If you have the treasure, be able to donate up until this moment. Organize, organize, organize. We are going to win. We are going to take this country back. We are going to reimagine our democracy that is inclusive, that provides opportunities for all people. The old ways are done. The fear tactics no longer work. It is our time. It is our moment. Because, dear friends, as my sign says here, the future is woke. That is it for me today, dear friends, on Get Woke. Please subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. And if you want some fantastic swag, head over to DanielleMoodie.com, to the Damn Shop, and get the capsule collection. The future is woke. I appreciate each and every one of you. Power to the people, and to all the people power. See you next time.